Thank you, sir.
Right, Prashant? Prashant, it is your first attempt, I can see.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, tell me, you're happy with your performance, or you believe that there are areas you need to work better?
Sir, I think some of the questions like female photographers and female economists, I think I need to prepare those things because it really doesn't look well. Although I may be able to recall if I think hard enough, but in interview scenario that may work against me. The second thing, sir, I think I need to prepare a little bit more on maritime security, as you asked a few questions from there. And maybe I could be a little less nervous. So that is what I feel.
Well, being little nervous is okay, and you are only little nervous, at least going by the appearance. So you're not very nervous that way. So that's good. See, Prashant, it is your first attempt, and you are here in the first attempt, which is obviously says a lot about you, which is the board members will also be able to notice. And by and large, you're a good candidate. So I will not be giving you detailed things what you are good at. You are good at most things, right? So that considered taken. So I'll be focusing only a few areas where a little advice can be given. Your entry is good. Your sitting posture by and large is okay. See, we've been advising male candidates especially to occupy only as much space as they're entitled to. Don't spread. Okay. That applies a bit to you also. But in general, you're taking the enough space only, but maybe having your legs a little closer will make you more formal and more just, right? It happens. Women's candidates are taking lesser space than they are entitled. Men are spreading and taking more space than they are entitled. I will take right. So that is one area you can work on. But I'm not very sure that they'll be actually having that gender audit there. But it's always nice to be that way. Prashant, there are very, very good things about you. One is your analysis. Sitting posture by and large is okay. Your voice level in general is okay. Though at a few places it appears the voice become a little low. Okay. So you can raise your volume level. Sure. So that is one area you can work on. But going overall, you're doing most things right. What my critical advice is that you need to understand that you have a certain kind of a background. Yes. Most of the aspects of these background are positive and will be taken positively. But there are a few areas where the board members will have apprehensions about. Okay, one is your corporate background. Okay, wherever this year we had many candidates who had good corporate background with them, and they were coming for civil services. You must have noticed it is quite a trend now. Yes, sir. There is this apprehension of having that corporate kind of a bias, right? That this person is basically good for corporates and will not be able to deal with the government sector because of the to some extent opposing nature of the two services. Sure, so you are against that bias as well, right? So you have to fight that prejudice in course of your interview, not exactly overtly, but in a subtle manner. So and make sure that you should not be enforcing it. For example, yes, if you're discussing Flipkart, and which is understandable that it can be discussed, you cannot have that we thing when you're talking about Flipkart. You're getting my point? Yes, sir. So, which basically shows affiliations. Yes, sir. So, though you should have we thing when you're discussing, for example, Samastipur. Yes. When you're discussing Bihar, then you should have this my Bihar, our Bihar. But when it comes to Flipkart, it should be they, not us. You're getting my point? So, this is one suggestion that you have to work on. It is just, I'm giving you just an example. Sure. The whole idea is that those biases which are likely to be there, you have to counter them and not reinforce them. Sure. That is my most critical advice. Sure. Other things are manageable. Other things, by and large, you're doing very, very good. Thank you. For example, yes, in the non-verbal communication, one is, there is a little hand clasping, hand movement thing. Okay, you can avoid that. Eye contact, which again, I mean, I'm tired of giving this advice, but please understand. I understand that there are people who suggest that you have to have simultaneous eye contact, try to have it is not natural. It cannot be natural for human being. Yes, right? So what it should be, look at the person you're talking to. Sure. Maybe a glance here and there, but primarily look at the person you're talking to because it builds trust. So did it come like that? Because I was not There were a few places where it appeared that it can be a little better. I mean, look at the person you're talking to. If you're very confident, look into the eyes of the person you're talking to. Right? That makes you even more confident. Okay. Sir. Other things, in general, you're doing fine. Exit can be a little better. ऐसा लगा जैसे आप पैर घसीटते हुए जा रहे हैं. Right? Exit walk. Exit. Right? So at that moment, you can be maybe a bit more formal. Other things, I'm really happy. Your sensitivity part was very good. In general, your understanding and analysis was good.
Thank you.
Smart candidates are ones who realize what their strengths are and then lead board to their areas of strength.
Yes,
your
sir.
area of strength is analysis.
Yes.
What you do is sometimes is that you actually, rather than playing on that analysis thing, you cut short your analysis, which is very good. Well, the analysis is very good, but you are unnecessarily cutting it short at a few places. My advice will be that, okay, you decide what kind of amount of time you want to give it, but lead board to your area of strength, that is analysis, rather than on the factual stuff, right? Other things very good. I'm sure you'll do very good.
Thank
right?
you, sir.
All the best.
Sir, I have a few questions.
Yes.
Sir, one of the questions is, for example, this analysis part. But sometimes I've been told in other mock interviews that you are extending it a bit. You should cut it short.
It should not be very long, is true. But in today's interview, it wasn't very long.
Okay, so I should keep it about.
You should, but as I said, you decide what kind of a length of answer it should be. But you should try and create more opportunities in the board where you are able to exhibit this analysis part, which is your strength.
Sure.
Right?
Thank you, sir.
All the best.